I'm so glad we don't have to review a film today.
Oh my god, like there's only been post-apocalyptic films.
Oh my god, I know.
And they're so tiring.
Like Oblivion.
I was gonna swear, but I didn't. Yeah.
Yeah. Warm Bodies. What else is there?
I think, what's the one that's not a post-up?
Oh, I don't know. But the only thing that's not Oblivion is Scary Movie 5.
Not apocalyptic.
Yeah.
It's Scary Movie 5, yeah, but that one's, I don't think there's no other film that marks the decline of humanity as well as Scary Movie 5, honestly.
That's right, you're right.
Oh, hi. Didn't see you there. I'm Yuri.
And I'm Megan. Welcome to Showreel.
Today we'll be having a little chat with an accomplished Brisbane filmmaker, then a discussion about the new direction of film production, shifting from photochemicals to digital, followed by a debrief on this past weekend's West End Film Festival.
Our special guest for today is an accomplished Brisbane actor, director and producer of short films.
His latest short, The Worm Eaters, screened at the West End Film Festival this weekend.
So without further ado, we welcome the producer of the film, Shea Smith. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
So tell us a little bit about Worm Eaters.
Worm Eaters, well, it's basically the story of a worm-eating lifeguard and...
Normal.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it, yeah. It follows the main vein of most films.
Yeah.
But worm-eating lifeguard and a young woman by the name of Samantha. She catches him eating a worm in like a public pool. But he in turn saves her life at this pool. So she sort of spends a lot of the time trying to say thank you for saving my life, but he's trying to avoid her because he's really embarrassed about being caught eating this worm. So yeah, it's not your run-of-the-mill kind of a story, but yeah. So but you know, there's a few other colourful characters along the way that try and help bridge the gap between these two to get them communicating and on the same page. So yeah.
So what genre would that be? It's kind of it sounds quirky.
It's sort of a quirky, dry sort of comedy. Yeah. So yeah, it's good fun to make.
And who came up with the idea? Where did that come from?
A very talented writer director, Mitch Ullman.
Okay.
Yeah, so we met at Griffith Uni, and he had the idea, and read the script, and I really liked it, and so it was good to work with him and bring this to life.
And did you study at Griffith Film Festival?
I did, yeah. So it was part of our grad film.
Okay.
So yeah, we've all graduated back in 2012. So yeah, we're just getting it out to festivals now and seeing how it goes.
Excellent.
Tell us about the pre-production and like production and post-production. Obviously, you're a producer, so you're involved from the very beginning of the story. How did you were you involved in the casting as well with the director, or?
Yeah, we sort of worked together to for casting, locations. It's like anything, when the budget's a little bit smaller, you got to take on a few extra roles.
Yeah.
So we worked together to with the auditioning. We got some really great talent. Samantha was played by Jackie Story, really great actress in Brisbane. Dan Eady, who played Jeff, he's a fantastic actor in Brisbane as well. Ben Taylor, who played Ben the worm-eating lifeguard. And Cameron Hurry, I think he's in a production of Frankenstein coming up. So they're all, there's a lot of talent within Brisbane. So it's just a matter of sorting through, finding the right person.
Did you have open calls for that, or?
We did, yeah. So it was a lot of sifting through to find the right people, but we were really happy because, there was, anything we threw at these guys, they were more than up for the challenge, which was great.
Cool.
Did they really eat worms?
Well, we had a lot of there was a lot of discussion about whether they were going to eat a worm or not. But Jackie and Ben, I think they both put it in their mouth. I'm not quite sure, but
really,
we did have we had fake worms, but they just
didn't look right.
Yeah, because it's called the Worm Eaters. So
method acting.
That's it. Yeah, they got into it, but
Well, you could have used glowworms.
Well, we sourced a lot. It just didn't, because you got sort of a close up on these things. You wanted to make sure they sort of looked realistic. But these these guys are more than willing to, you know, get in, give it a go. So we were, you know, really happy that they were. So yeah.
And so was Western Film Festival the first festival that you put it in so far?
We put it in for a few other. We've been accepted into the Calatape Film Festival, and yeah, we just sort of, because it's sort of a you know, it's sort of a niche market. We just want to sort of try it, you know, even overseas, see how it goes.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, exactly. So, and then just, you know, see what comes back from it and go from there.
Cool as.
That's really cool. As a producer, you just mentioned about budgeting. Indie filmmaking especially usually has to tackle this issue of budgeting. How did you deal with that?
Yeah, we so that was a lot of hard work to get. Well, basically through the university, we also had crew contributions, which really helped to get the film up and running. But there was also we did a lot of fundraising to you know, just make sure you got enough money to get the thing shot. So yeah, and that was a lot of work just to, you know, you're asking people for money and there's not a lot in return. It's not the easiest thing to do. Yeah. But you know, people are more than accommodating to help out for the cause, so which was great.
And how much was the budget for this film?
We were probably looking around the $6,000 to $7,000 mark. Yeah. Cool. You know, it's not only do you have to think about that, then you got to think about going into Film Fest, which costs money again. So you got to, you know, and it's all the little things that add up as well. So
sure.
Not cheap.
Yeah.
Even though that is a cheap budget.
Of course,
Besides producing, you briefly before shooting this mentioned that you also act and you also write a bit of singing.
Yeah, badly,
So can you tell us, you do a lot of things, like how do you cope with that? How do you juggle with that? Do you get involved in as many projects as possible? Do you...
Yeah, it'd be good to focus on one thing, you know, it's being a jack of all trades isn't, you know, always...
That's amazing.
You know, well, it's not always the, you know, it's probably better to be good at one thing, but I don't know, it's just I enjoy it all, but it's getting to the point where you got to choose one.
And what's your favourite?
Oh, look, I really like the acting. But, you know, producing this was good fun because you meet some fantastic actors, you work with some really creative people, and the end result to see, you know, it up on the big screen is, you know, really rewarding. So,
of course,
you know, really enjoyed the producing side of things as well.
Wow. And you know, like some actors direct the movies that they're in as well, or also produce. Would you ever do that?
Well, the next project I've got in mind is, I'm directing, acting that one.
Oh, wow.
But, so it's going to be a bit of fun, but I don't know, you don't want to jump into too many roles because I think you can get a little bit clouded on the vision. But look, it's, you know, it's been something that I've been sort of working for a while, so I'm quite happy to, you know, jump into the role of one of the characters, but also direct it. So
cool. And what's that about?
It's called Negative Bob. So it's sort of showing up all the idiosyncrasies of 2013.
Cool.
You know, like I don't know, one of the scenes is basically a. You know, why do people hold up iPads at rock concerts, you know, and they're just watching the screen the whole time? Why not just go buy the DVD? So you know, it's those sort of idiosyncratic things that are happening in 2013 with technology and sort of just magnifying them and playing them up a bit.
That sounds really cool. Sounds really interesting.
It's going to be a fun thing to produce, and well, not produce, but
So this Facebook page for Worm Eaters, we can find it online?
Just search the Worm Eaters and jump on the link and check out the pages, because, you know, even like if we've got anything coming up, we'll definitely post it online and people can follow the, you know, what's happening with the Worm Eaters, which would be great.
Have to keep an eye on that, sure.
Well, thank you for coming in today.
Thanks for having me.
That was awesome. We'll be right back with some more Showreel.
Don't go away. Welcome back to Showreel. Today we'll be discussing the film industry's progressive shift from film to digital recording. Now, being a person who's usually in front of the camera and not behind the camera, I don't really know much about this technical side of things. So could you give us a bit of a basic rundown of the difference between the two?
From being in front and behind?
The film and the digital.
Film and digital, Oh, look, it's I don't know. It comes down to personal opinion, I suppose, on which you prefer shooting on. But I think in you know, the industry today, things are leaning more towards digital. But there's still definitely a place for film. You know, it's got that warmth and character about it that you know, definitely can evoke something that you know, digital's getting to that level now where it's catching up, and you can sort of, you know, show what you want, like in film. In a digital sort of realm. So it's there's a place for both, but you know, as an independent filmmaker, I think you're always questioning budget, and you know, the digital realm is definitely, I'm leaning towards more because it's just easier. And if you can tell the same story, and you know, through digital means, and have the same response and save a couple of grand in the budget, then why not shoot digital? But you know, there's definitely still a place for film in the in the industry.
That's the thing about film; it's very expensive. You know, and you can't see it. You can't do immediate playbacks. You have to send the rolls to like the post house to get it rendered, and then you see it later at the dailies and the theaters. That's like the classic way to handle it. But now that it's digital, you can always, after shooting, after you say cut, you can play back the footages. And I guess like from a producer's and a director's perspective, that's handy because you know, you can do retakes. You don't have to go back the next day calling the actors again.
That's it. Yeah,
which is quite handy and convenient, I guess.
Definitely one of the pros of shooting on digital.
And I hear that you have to maintain the films as well, so you have to redo them every few years. Is that right?
Well, that's the thing, because even digital, in terms of preserving digital film, you always have to make sure that you have the most updated thing. And film in that sense is much easier to preserve because you can see it, like if you put it in a cold room, it would last like hundreds of years as long as civilization will last, with like minimum, you know, maintenance and stuff. But digital, because they're all SD cards and all data, it's hard to tell if you still have the data or not. But also it's lighter, and you know, you can take copies of it, which is,
and they don't take up as much room. Obviously.
Exactly. So that's pretty handy.
And so, is there a genre that lends itself to either film or digital? Do you think?
It depends on the filmmaker again, but you know, it depends on what story they're trying to tell. But if you can tell the same story on both, you know, and it comes out the same, and I think it's more probably comes down to the technical side of things. If if your film's out of focus you know, it's too dark, then people lose themselves in the they come out of the story. So you want to keep your audience involved in the story, and I don't think, you know, generally the audience is looking at the screen going, is that shot in film or is that shot in digital? They're more looking for, okay, what's this story about? And
to me as well, like to the naked eye, I don't see much of a difference between film and digital. Do you guys, who obviously are looking for it and know about it, do you see much of a difference?
Not really. Like, there's definitely a difference. But it definitely ruins your movie watching, you know, if you're constantly looking for those things.
But like Tarantino films, they're all film. Oh, they're all shot on film. Maybe he shot a bit of like digital with the Sin City when he worked with Robert Rodriguez. But other than that, it's all shot on film, and he has a very strict, you know, code for that. He's like, now that everything's moving to digital, I don't want to direct. You know, he's moving to I think he's thinking of retiring from directing and going into writing because he just hates this whole digital shift.
That's right.
And I guess like his core hardcore fans kind of expect him to shoot on film. So some audience, I guess, kind of do take notice of that. They do care that those
real film geeks, though.
Those technical stuff. But if he still writes and it's still shot on digital, I'm sure they'll still watch it.
Well, you know, he's got his name, you know, and so Tarantino's Tarantino.
He's not an indie filmmaker that has to worry about budgeting.
That's right. That's it. Exactly.
Have you ever shot on film?
Shot in 16mm, and it was a real headache.
Really?
What happened?
It's just you know, it's just a bit more cumbersome, and you know, more things can go wrong. Even, you know, as you said, like the telecine process of transferring to digital is like, you've got all these reels of film in the back of your car, and if you have an accident, that's your whole film gone. You know, it's you know, Murphy's Law, you don't want that happening, but it's one of those things that Yeah, definitely. Just you need a bit more time
Sure.
to sort of deal with, and as you said, like with the rushes and stuff, you just can't look back at a monitor and see what's going on. But look, it was it's good to it's experience, so it's good to shoot on film. It'd be good to go back and shoot something on film one day.
Yeah, like if you had the opportunity, say,
budget.
If you had the money,
would you pick? Okay, if you had the money, and if you had like the perfect cast.
Yep.
Like you had, I don't know, what would be your perfect cast?
This is the perfect situation.
Yeah.
Perfect cast.
Who's your favorite actor? Who would you like to work with?
Who would I like to work with?
If you're producing the film.
Heaps. Oh, well, yeah, you can't go past Daniel Day-Lewis, I reckon.
Okay, Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yep.
Lincoln was shot on film.
Yep.
And, okay, so say we have Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yep.
And we had, like, great cinematographers.
Yeah.
And they said, I want to shoot on film.
Yep.
And then you were producing it. Would you allow it, or would you be like, let's shoot on digital, let's cut the budget?
If I had the budget, I'd say go for your life.
Go for it?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Even if it's like a Red Scarlet, like would you still choose film over?
It's a matter of justifying it. So it's like, right, we want to shoot on film because it'll bring these elements into it. And as I said, in a perfect world, if I've got the budget, I've got Daniel Day-Lewis. If I've got Daniel Day-Lewis, it's that'd be fantastic. So you'd if they knew what they were doing and they could justify to me as a producer that to shoot on film, then go for your life. Yeah.
I should mention as well, a Red Scarlet is a type of camera, for those of you who don't know that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So do you think as well, with this opportunity to shoot so much at a cheaper rate, do you think we'll have longer films?
Well, that's sort of, I was discussing this with someone, like it opens itself up to filmmakers maybe being a little bit more complacent because it's like, right, we didn't get that, so let's just shoot it again.
Yeah.
Where in film it's like, that each foot of film is money. So, you may take 27 takes and it's like, well, we haven't got it, let's keep going. And it just sort of, you get a little bit complacent, I think, on digital. So I think that's one of the negative aspects of digital is, it's like, right, well, we don't have so many reels of film, we can just keep dumping onto our hard drives, and so
cool.
Yeah.
Interesting. If you're interested in knowing more about this digitalization and you're like a film geek, I recommend watching Side by Side. It's a documentary about the history and the future of filmmaking. Interviews with like famous directors, James Cameron, Robert Rodriguez, David Fincher, David Lynch, Martin Scorsese. It's actually really interesting. And if you want to see Keanu Reeves like nod all the time, like it's the go-to documentary. After the short break,
we'll be talking about the West End Film Festival, so stay tuned, guys. Welcome back. Earlier this week, Showreel team went to West End Film Festival. Of course, Shea was there. How did you enjoy the festival, Shea?
Yeah, it was great. I was there for the second session, but it was a packed house and some really some awesome films to check out. So it was great. Yeah,
cool.
Really enjoyed it.
how was the audience response to the Worm Eaters?
Yeah, it's always interesting to see how your film goes. But I was really happy. Like, so we got some laughs. I've seen the film that many times. It's more about watching the audience than the actual film. But it's great to get a response and reaction from the audience.
And
sorry.
It's funny when you see something so many times, you forget where the jokes are meant to be.
That's it.
And then when they laugh, you're like, oh, I forgot that was funny. And
then, you get a little bit numb by the whole thing after so long. But it was good to see because there's different audience have different reactions. So it was good to see. There's a couple of hundred people there, which is great. So,
awesome.
It's good to get a reaction from them on the parts that the funny stuff. So it's good.
Yeah.
How important are film festivals to indie filmmakers, do you reckon?
There's definitely important to get your film out there for people to see. But look, you could. With the internet now evolving or evolved, there's the online stuff. You can get your film out there quite easily as well. But definitely there's you can't beat being in a theatre with a live audience and seeing their reactions to something that you've done. So.
Sure. And are there like scout serve and people that would want to work with you, maybe?
I think there's a bit of, everyone from the industry is there to check it out. So, not that anyone came and approached me.
Yeah.
So,
You never know.
hopefully they're watching now.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, it's I think there's a bit of everyone there to check out the all the films. So yeah.
Networking is also very important.
Yeah, it's like any industry. So
Yeah.
it's good to have a chat and at the end and just say good day to everyone. And it's good actually to catch up with everyone again because you haven't seen people for a while. So most of the actors came back and to watch the film,
cool.
which was good, and a few of the crew members. So it was good.
That's
good
really
to catch up.
That's really cool.
Did it feel like an achievement to see it up on the screen?
Yeah, definitely, because it was the first film fest that that the Worm Eaters has been accepted to. So to actually be there after it was the process. You lose 5 years off your life doing it. It's just and
Being at school and
it's just not during the actual production stage you're not sleeping much, and so it's it was pretty full on, but it's you sort of get out of it what the work you put in. It's good to see people enjoying something that you've
done. Yeah.
And I guess in retrospect, it's a good opportunity to chat up with the crew members and be like, "I'll remember that time."
Definitely, yeah. Well, I couldn't have been happy with our crew. Was great. So no dramas at all. So I'd any of those guys and girls I'd have on any set anytime. So yeah,
that's a
great to work
rare.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Usually run into a drama somewhere along the way, but the cast and crew were awesome in all aspects.
That's really great. That's really awesome. Well, do you have any other?
No, that's it. Great. We're going to leave you now to see what we saw at the West End Film Festival.
Hi, I'm Yuri from Showreel. Today we're here at West End Film Festival. West End Film Festival is an annual event for all filmmakers, locally and nationally. We're very excited to be here. With over 450 people attending, it's a very exciting festival to be at, and we hope you enjoy the footages. West End Film Festival?
I'm the volunteer coordinator for the West End Film Festival, and we need a lot of volunteers to make the festival happen. So we had 350 seats to assemble today, and we've got an AV crew, we've got another setup crew, and we've got a front of house crew. So we need at least 50 people. And so what I look for is a film that engages me for whatever reason.
So we have Helen Abrams here at West End Film Festival. How are you?
Really great, thanks.
Are you enjoying this night? Excited for
There is a huge amount of excitement at the West End Film Festival, and it's tangible. I love it, and every year that excitement gets even more.
Yeah, I can see it on your face. You're so excited to be here.
Brisbane City Council also is funding it.
It's the festival program, right?
That's right,
Well, that's amazing.
And the local community is funding it, and it's just fantastic to be able to give money for the award for these fantastic filmmakers. They know the quality of the films. They know just how clever the young Australian filmmakers are, and so they know they're in for a great night.
Okay, so we're here with the director of Mud Crab, which just won Best Animated Film. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And your name is?
My name is Igor Choric.
Yes, and I asked you to say it because I can't pronounce it.
It's not easy, you need to practice a lot.
Yeah. Process. The director first records the audio.
Yes.
And then you use that audio to make the animation, is that correct?
Yes.
Is it a very, because I don't know much about animation, is it a very sort of you in front of a computer process?
Yes.
Advices to like future filmmakers, animators?
Yeah, just don't care what other people think and do whatever you want to do. Yeah.
Wow. I think that sums it up.
Yes.
Hi, we're here with Sarah Takahody, an award-winning producer who just won Ellipsis, who just won a community award for Ellipsis. How are you feeling?
I feel really great, thank you. It's really exciting to be a part of the WEF Festival and be recognised with the Community Award.
Have any advices to give to like potential future filmmakers or people who are interested in producing? Do you have any
I would say be tenacious. Don't take no for an answer when you know, inevitably you'll go to university and then you'll need to go and get work experience and you'll ring around. Keep ringing. Don't be rude, but keep ringing and keep making sure that people know you're keen to work. Work for free. Do a great job of it when you're there, and you will get work from that. But it's tough. It's a really tough industry to crack. So if you do get an opportunity, make sure you make the most of it.
Producer and the editor of Photo Booth, which is one of the films that are screened. It's screened in your name.
P.S. Hoskinson.
And you were also the editor.
Yeah.
Which I think is interesting because producers are involved in the pre-production process mainly, and then during production you make sure that everyone doesn't lose their minds, and in post you just give it to the editor and make sure it's due on time, but you're editing it.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of responsibility.
Yeah. I didn't even think about it too much. I love editing.
Do you have any advice for future filmmakers out there who want to make it in the real world?
Definitely, I think just get on as many sets as possible and just make stuff.
Make stuff?
Yeah, keep practicing because it's...
That's all we have for tonight. We hope you enjoy the interviews, and I'm sure we can expect greater things from these Australian filmmakers. Back to you, studio Yuri. Thanks, Yuri. So, Shea, thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
I hope you enjoyed Showreel.
It was great.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us along.
I hope you, the viewers, enjoyed our episode. See you next Saturday at 2:30. And don't forget to find us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Bye.